So back to this one, the Western Cape right now experiencing severe weather conditions. It's resulted in the closure of schools and disruptions across various regions. Newzroom Afrika's Nasiphi Same joins us now. She is in Lwandle. Nasiphi, good morning. We've seen you in different locations throughout the morning in the community, and just the discomfort is palpable. It's very cold. A lot of the dwellings have been completely washed out. We know that hundreds, in fact thousands of people this morning counting the cost of that destruction. Just give us a status update for the audience that's joining us right now.
Well, Iman, earlier on we were at an informal settlement that falls under Lwandle. There we heard from the ward councillor that a number of informal settlements were severely impacted overnight by the inclement weather conditions. He highlighted that a number of structures had been flooded inside. A number of structures also being blown away by the strong winds that we experienced overnight. And he also indicated that there's been a number of transformers in his ward that have blown up due to the inclement weather conditions, indicating that his entire ward of 86 is out of electricity, plunged into darkness since last night. And where we are currently is the formal side of Lwandle with formal houses. And I'm joined here by a resident who says that she is literally on edge, taking into account the electricity pole that's standing behind us, and she fears that it might topple over. Mama, we were speaking not too long ago, and you were talking to us about your anxiety.
Yes, I am worried about this situation. I see. This happened yesterday in the morning when my mom called me from her place that there is something that we need to fix. So I took my boys down. While I was down there to her area, my other son called me, said, "Mom, there's something that is happening at your house." So I had to walk from my home to my place because I was scared to drive on the road. So when I got into my place, I found that everything was such a mess. The pole was still standing. The power line was still standing, and there was like a side of a truck that was hanging on top of that power line. So at the back of my house where my other son stays, the other side of the shark was also in just by his door side. So the power line, the thick power line that is twisted, that is on the floor now, it was just hanging on top of my gate that we have so that we can just keep the dogs so that my dogs cannot be together. So it was just hanging on top. So we have not been used this area. So I've kept my dogs inside. The 3 dogs inside, they cannot come to this side at all. So I'm worried. I took my son, I said, "My son, come and sleep inside." He's been sleeping in the lounge. So this is quite a mess. So I don't know what to do. We've got no electricity, which is fine, I understand. But now the worst part that could have been avoided was for the ESCOM or maybe the City of Cape Town to come and resolve the issue. I've spoken to the councillor of Ward 86. He has mentioned that they are frightened, they are scared to come to the area since the wind was blowing. Yes, we know that the wind was worse, but something could have done so that the power line could have stayed there, and maybe they can do something just to remove those pieces of zinc that are still hanging above. So I'm glad that we didn't go to school today. I wouldn't be able to focus in front of my children, teaching my children, while I know that my house that I left here, it's a mess.
Iman, we'll just show you the power line that she speaks of that is literally hanging by a thread. And not too long ago, we feared that it could topple over. And that's the anxiety that she has. As I mentioned earlier on, the ward councillor of 86 indicating that his entire ward has been plunged into darkness. You see there the iron sheet hanging on that cable there, showing, the strength of the wind that we experienced yesterday, taking somebody's roof possibly, and now it hangs on this particular hangs on this particular power line. And we understand also that a number of schools in the Helderberg Basin, Overberg region, including the Cape Winelands, have been closed. And the tally now is probably around 41 schools that have been closed. Authorities saying that they are monitoring these various communities, particularly the ones where level 9, or rather the weather warning has been moved up to level 9. We do understand that the Overberg region is one of the regions that have also been adversely impacted. We will be going to communities such as Paarl, where we understand that there was a fire last night, and we'll be speaking to some of those residents as so far as what kind of assistance they've received. And speaking to the Council of 86, he indicated that outside of the emergency starter kits, which is the building material, the iron zincs, including the planks, for people to rebuild their homes, he did indicate that houses is going to be the permanent solution for these residents who find themselves most of the time from these informal settlements with their homes being submerged in water, including being blown away by the gale force winds.
Nasiphi, thank you very much, and of course applaud the courage of you and the team standing there. Just be really, really careful. You know, one looks at that pole, the way that it is teetering, bare cables, water. You know, that's a very dangerous situation that could manifest, including for the homeowner to try and get out of the way as soon as possible. Nasiphi sharing with us there just how many communities and homes are being affected by the inclement weather. Hopefully city officials can get there as well. The request has been made. The councillors have been alerted to try and deal with situations like this which lead to secondary threats and dangers.